forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer.
All right, welcome to Nashville Art Makers. My name is Ronnie Chris, and we are at the Nashville Historic Parthenon. This is an exact replica, pretty much to maybe a few inches off. And I'm with the wonderful Nashville artist, Jeff Bertrand, and we're really excited today because we're going to have a little interview. We're going to talk about a few things and talk about his artwork. So first off, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right. Well, I've looked at a lot of different things, your websites, your Facebooks, and all that good stuff, and kind of trying to get to know you before we start this interview. And my first question to you is, what is your favorite Johnny Cash song?
Favorite Johnny Cash song? I have a lot of favorites, but probably my favorite would be Hurt.
Hurt?
Just because I grew up and the song came out, while I was, old enough to actually appreciate it.
Okay.
And I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan and a Trent Reznor fan.
Okay.
And I thought it was really cool how it revived his career.
Oh yeah.
And brought Johnny Cash to a whole new audience.
That it absolutely did.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I noticed after he did that song, then he did another video for that God's Gonna Cut You Down.
Mm-hmm.
And all like these current stars were in that video.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
That whole album, he did a lot of cover songs, and it just totally took his career in a different direction. Kind of brought him back to the Man in the Black and made him dark again, because he was kind of getting obscure there for a while, in a lot of fans' eyes.
Well, as you know, but for our audience, the reason I asked you that question is I know that Johnny Cash, you're a huge fan of Johnny Cash, and you really love sort of that kind of music and that kind of nostalgia. Is listening to music a big part of your creative process?
Definitely. I listen to Pandora every single time I make a painting.
Okay.
I actually have a Johnny Cash station listed on there. I always listen to. It just depends on who I'm creating. I'll listen to the music of the person. If I'm doing a Johnny Cash painting, I'll listen to Johnny Cash. If I'm doing Hank Williams, it'll be Hank.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you kind of explain to Nashville Art Makers your process and what helps you pinpoint like what's your next piece of work, how you're going to come up with what you're going to do?
It really depends on the situation or the group of art I'm showing. Like talking about this current group of art I'm doing is 80s themed art. It really depends on if it's something I'm wanting to do. Like I do a lot of fun, my own work, just kind of no direction whatsoever, just making art. Try not to think about it, because once you think and overanalyze your art, it gets too tight, too focused. Really, I think the more you don't think about creating the art, the more raw and the more great piece of art you get. But I do a lot of themed shows. I do the current one I was talking about is the 80s themed art, where it's all 80s icons, pop culture references. I actually just finished today a VCR piece where I'm actually using like found objects and recycling objects that were big parts of the culture of the 80s.
Okay.
So everybody had the VCR and the VHS tapes. So I basically made it into a big functional piece and painted on it together. It turned out really nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. What would you say is the medium you enjoy the most when you're working?
I think it would be, primarily painting, but it's more of a mixed media.
Mixed media.
Yeah, I do a lot of illustration-based painting. I really like acrylics because they dry fast. I'm kind of impatient, so I like to see the art happening.
Yeah.
There just went a frisbee.
That's awesome.
No, I like to see the art transforming. There goes another one. And I don't know. I'm just really impatient, and I like to see it finished. I like to see the art happening.
What like how quick does it take you to make a piece of work?
Well, it just depends on the size of the art and how involved I am with it. If it's like a commission and I'm not excited about it, it's going to take me forever because I can't get into it. But if it's something I'm excited about, I'll keep working on it and keep pounding it until I'm finished.
Yeah.
It could be hours. It could be multiple hours, days.
When was the first time you realized you wanted to be an artist?
Probably the first time was in kindergarten. I won an award of creativity
Okay.
and I actually got a little bit of praise for the art I was creating, and it just kind of stuck with me. You're like, I'll get a little bit of attention for it, got to make more, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Aside from that, probably the first time someone paid me to do a piece of art.
Okay.
That's a really good feeling.
What is it? What is it now that you are an artist and you're doing this? What is it that drives you?
I don't know. I just want to focus and get my art in as many people's hands as possible. I found a really good quote that really touched my art process and art making. It was by Camille Rose Garcia. She said, "Create art like you have 1 year to live." So if you have 1 year to live, you want to get all the messages across in your art. You want people to realize what you're about. You want to make art as if, you know, this is what you have left to leave. So that's the way I approach it, and that's
one way to drive it.
Oh yeah, that makes my work ethic like 150%.
This is kind of a localized question. This is the joys of filming outside. There's a helicopter. Being from Nashville, okay. You had mentioned I read about how you've grown up here your whole life. Where it's common to see celebrities, different types of celebrities. This is kind of a fun question. Like, who's the biggest star you remember?
Biggest star? I guess it just really depends on who you
think is big.
Who
what do you
big?
think was the biggest star?
I don't know, man. Growing up, I met MC Hammer, and I thought that was pretty amazing.
Nice.
MC Hammer was cool. I mean, currently, I do art for Haley Williams of Paramore.
Okay.
She's blowing up.
Yeah.
I just saw her on the front cover of the Cosmopolitan magazine.
Yeah.
So I was holy crap. I just did some work for Newfound Glory.
Yeah, I saw it.
Chad Gilbert. I mean, you name it, man. Ben Folds is really cool. He's one of my, I'm really into his music. He's one of my influences.
Give me 3 modern musical stars you've never done before that you'd like, you think would be really great.
Would be really cool.
Do portraits of.
I don't know. I think I'm sticking with the people that live in town. I think it would be really cool to do Jack White.
Okay.
I mean, he's blowing up with just his Third Man Records and everything that's going on here in Nashville.
Yeah.
It would be cool. He's got like a persona going on, like a dark thing. I think that would be really neat. It would translate really good into a painting.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm huge fans. I like the Black Keys, man. I think they're cool.
Okay.
The people that are moving here is neat. I think it's so cool that they're here, and that's a part of Nashville now.
Mm-hmm.
So I want that to translate to my art as well.
Cool.
So.
Okay, well, Jack White, the Black Keys, and that's definitely a good current perspective of what's going on. Another thing that really interests kind of me in being here at the time that it happened, so I kind of always ask this question: where were you during the 2010 Nashville flood?
I was actually at my home. At the time we lived in the Brignac area.
Okay.
And if you know anything relative to the floods, it happened down Bell Road.
Yeah.
A lot of it was the worst areas, and we lived right down that road. The same road that you've seen on the news, the thing floating down. That's the road I drive to work every single day.
Oh, it's so crazy.
So I was at home, freaking out. I believe right when the flood hit, I was actually at work and I was heading home. And this side of the interstate was shut down. It was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get home.
Yeah.
A 20-minute drive ended up taking me, because I work in Murfreesboro, ended up taking me, like close to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was scary, man. And I was panicking, and I was trying to get a hold of my wife, and she was in New York City at the same time that the failed car bombing. I was hearing on the news, like, car bomb, it's and
wow, you guys are just
it was
in the mix of it.
It was freaky. So I was worried about her, and I was worried about what was going on, and it just touched home, man. I just felt like I needed to do something. Mm-hmm. So I created Art Flood, which was a benefit for victims, who lost, their possessions and everything in the flood. And we chose Hands on Nashville because it seemed, instead of doing like the Red Cross, it seemed like it would get the money into Nashville's hands quicker.
Okay.
And I just felt like I needed to do something now. At the time, I was like, I don't see anything going on. There was no benefits at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I need to jump on this and get it going. So there was like, from when the flood happened, I believe it was like maybe 7 days. In 7 days, we created a benefit and raised a couple grand for Hands on Nashville. And we were packed the show out, sold just about everything we had there. And we raised some money, and it was fantastic. We had some great musical acts come out.
Cool.
And it was something, probably one of the more proud things I think I've ever done.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was kind of, if you jumped right in at the beginning, it's very easy to see if anybody that was here, like from that point on, it was just sort of an onslaught of benefits and people really trying hard to make a difference. And it was one after the other. It was really cool. And I know you did a piece for Retune Nashville.
Retune. Actually, I did 2 pieces.
2 pieces. Okay.
I did a Hank Williams piece. It was Hank Sr., Hank Jr., and Hank III, called Family Tradition. And it's actually at Robert's Western World right now.
Okay.
The owner of
my favorite place on
the
Nashville.
Honky Tonk.
That's my favorite place.
World famous Honky Tonk. The owner purchased the piece, and it's actually in the glass display case on music on with Lower Broad. And this May 3rd, I'm going to have my new Retune guitar. It's a Johnny Cash one, and it's Walk the Timeline. It has Young Johnny, Midlife Johnny, and Old Johnny, and it's pretty cool. It's on an acoustic guitar, and it's going to be part of the live auction May 3rd. So it should be fun.
That is great. How would you describe the Nashville art scene? It's kind of a question I ask a lot of because I want to get the perspective of each other. What do you feel?
I'm sure you get a lot of different answers.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to be involved in the arts long enough to see it see nothing and actually something be created. I remember doing my first art show in the arcade when there was one art gallery in there. And now there's probably, a good 10, 12 art galleries in the arcade, upstairs and downstairs. And just seeing it explode, man. Tons of people are moving here. Tons of really talented artists, not just musicians.
Yeah.
And it's great. And we have the Downtown Art Crawl now. We have the East Nashville Art Crawl.
Yeah.
Hillsborough Art Crawl. And it just seems like it's blowing up, and it's doing nothing but great things.
Yeah, I would agree. What are your goals, short term, and then maybe after that, long term for your life?
Short term is to get caught up and get to a level where I actually feel like I'm getting all my art finished, because I'm kind of overwhelmed right now with commission work and a lot of shows lined up. I'm actually booked out for 2011, so that's pretty ridiculous for me because I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Long-term goals, I've actually really thought about it here lately. I either want to do more art festivals and go throughout the country. I've worked on that a little bit. Possibly see if I can intern under or assist under one of my artists I look up to.
Okay.
So I was thinking about possibly doing that just to get some more skills under my belt.
And you have a few in mind.
Oh yeah, got a few in mind. Haven't really ventured out and done that yet. I'm just still brainstorming and trying to figure out how you make it, man.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's a good question for everybody. I think any artist. My last question, kind of a 3-part question. Pretty simple 3-part question.
Okay.
But it's a question I think that is really good to know about any, not just artists. What are the 3 most important things, people, whatever, to you in your life?
That's a pretty easy question for me. Definitely family. Family, friends, and health, man. My father actually was diagnosed with lung and brain cancer last year, and he's been battling that. He actually just finished his chemotherapy, and he's cancer-free right now. And he's just trying to make the best of the situation. And you never know when you'll have somebody you care about, go away.
Yeah.
We had a lot of really bad stuff happen to my family last year, and their house burned down 3 days after Thanksgiving.
Oh.
So it's like, it's your family, it's your friends, it's your health. Everything else is just added bonuses, added stuff. You can always, possessions isn't a big thing for me. If you don't have your family, friends, and your health, you don't have anything. So that's my 3.
That's awesome, man.
Okay.
I want to thank Jeff, first off and foremost, for coming in. We're out here in this beautiful space and talking to Nashville art makers. Once again, my name is Ronnie Chris, and Jeff is our May artist, and please come check out all his websites. I'll have those all posted on the blog, and we are out of here. Thank you. Have a good one.
See you driving